Alright, a very warm welcome back everyone. Today I want to talk about delay, and in this case we are going to look at the stereo delay, which is a little bit confusing again, but in this case it only consists of two mono delays, so it should be pretty easy to understand those if you understand what a mono delay is. And in this case I'm going for the stereo delay because it is on the one hand the more complex delay that we have in Cubase, apart from the multi-tap delay, which is a whole different story. But on the other hand, the stereo delay allows you to, for example, do stereo enhancement. In this case, I want to present you how this works, and this also works well for this tutorial. So let's do this all together. So basically, you have two different delay channels in this stereo delay, and again we have our piano loaded here, which sends to the delay channel. And as you can hear, I'm not doing anything anymore, but we hear our piano after one bar again. So so this is basically the default settings, and you can sync each of these channels. I'm talking about channels now. Let's call those delays, either to the project, or you can set those based on milliseconds. In this case, let's stick to the project tempo first. You have the feedback knob, which basically tells you how much of the delay will be fed back into the delay. So if I'm putting this to 100%, it has the same effect as the main time had for the reverb. So if I'm now playing anything, everything will be put into the delay with 100% accuracy, so meaning that we should hear everything and it should not vanish. So let's make an example. I'm playing again. And I'm now not playing again, but you hear that everything gets repeated, which is exactly what a delay does, of course. Also, we can change between the dry and the wet signal. So dry signal would be without any delay applied, right? And wet signal would be with 100% delay applied. And then we have the knobs here. Let's talk about the filter first. So basically, this delay works in a region between the low part here and the high part. In this case, between the 50 Hz and 15 kilohertz. And if you change this, or if you want to remove those, you can easily do so by hitting these on and off buttons down here. And also, you have the panning option here, which tells you on which channel basically each of these delays should work. In this case, it is set to default only working on the left channel, and for the second one only on the right channel, which means that you have a quite easy way to simultaneously talk about your left or your right channel and apply different delays on each of those. You can also blend them in if you do it like if you change these parameters, but if we leave them as they are, and now talk about this procedure where you get the stereo enhancement, maybe we should try to apply this. So the first thing I want you to do is basically set your delay to a value the value in this case does not really matter because we are only talking about the dry signal here. So we will not apply any sort of delay. So you can leave this as it is, or you can put this to the lowest value possible. But on the other hand, for the second delay, I want you to put this in wet mode and not sync this to the project, but go for a value which is between 10 and 40 milliseconds, which is basically allowing you to have the right channel, in this case, because we have this pan to the right channel delayed a little bit in comparison to, of course, the dry signal that we have on the left channel. And what we are tricked then into, or what our brain is tricked into, is some sort of stereo enhancement, because we hear the left channel, but we hear the left channel and we hear the right channel a little bit delayed, in this case 25 milliseconds. However, if you put this higher, of course higher than 40 milliseconds, our brain recognizes that we actually have a delay and not a stereo enhancement. So if we try this out, let's put this back to 25 milliseconds, and first hear the dry signal at all, so without any stereo enhancement. And now with stereo enhancement, we hear a little bit at least that no, we don't want to do this. We hear, at least a little bit, that we have a wider stereo image, right? And this is exactly what we want to do. So, and this is exactly what this does. So basically you have a stereo enhancement just with using a delay, in this case the stereo delay as it is here. Apart from that, you always have the feedback and the mix knob, which are probably the more important ones, but then you also have the panning, which in this case is calculated for in conjunction with the mix. So you basically first apply the mixing and then you apply the panning, and this is how this works.